Hello, my name is Angela from Ride Library Service, and today I'm going to show you how to knit this poppy. What you will need is some 8-ply red yarn. You'll need a pair of 4mm needles or the old size 8. You'll need a sewing needle with a very large eye. You'll need a brooch clasp, a button, and a pair of scissors. The first thing we need to do is to cast on 60 stitches. There is no right or wrong way to cast on. This was the way I was taught. I've done a simple loop, I'm putting the needles through, and then I'm doing a knot. Now I'm going to cast on the stitches. The first one is like a simple knit stitch. And when I come to do the next stitch, I put the needle through the stitches. This will give us a very nice finish on the edge of the poppy. Between, over and on. There we have 60 stitches that have been cast on. The next thing you need to do is to knit 10 rows. So this stitch is a simple knit stitch, not a purl stitch. So this is what it looks like after I've knitted 10 rows. It doesn't matter if you've lost count and you've done 1 or 2 extra rows. It'll just mean that the poppy will be a little bit bigger. So the next thing we have to do is to reduce the number of stitches across the row. We're going to make these 60 stitches down to 30 stitches by knitting 2 together all the way across the row. So you put your needle through the 2 stitches, do it as a normal knit stitch and off. So the 2 have become 1. You do that again, and it's been a bit difficult for me. The 2 have become 1. And you need to do that all the way across the row. So I've knitted 2 together all the way across the row, and now I have 30 stitches left. So for the next row, row 12, what we're going to do is to reduce this even further. We want these 30 stitches to become 10 stitches. And we're going to do it by slipping a stitch, knitting 2 together, and then passing the slip stitch over. The 3 have become 1. I'll do that again. Slip 1, knit 2 together, and I'm passing the slip stitch over. So I've slipped 1, knitted 2 together, passed the slip stitch over all the way across that row. So now we're down to 10 stitches. And you can see that what that reduction has done is to create some of this nice puckering that will be important for the finished poppy. So I'm going to cut the yarn. I like to leave a nice long tail. And then I'm going to get my sewing needle. This is like a tapestry needle because it has a very thick eye. I'm going to thread the yarn through the needle. And now I'm taking the stitches off the knitting needle and putting it onto this needle, one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, pull it through. And as you'll see, you've got the form of the poppy. Pull it nice and tight, and now I'm going to do some simple over stitches to create the seam that sews the poppy together. And then with both ends, I'm going to do a couple of knots. Now I know that knitters will tell you you should never put a knot in knitting, but let's face it, we're not doing this for the Royal Leicester Show. And then I'm going to run both ends of that yarn back through to the centre. So the next thing we're going to do is to put a centre to the poppy. Sometimes people can do very exotic centres, but the easiest thing really is just to use a black button. So I'm going to thread the yarn onto my needle. Thread that back through. Put the yarn through the button, take it to the back of the poppy, and again you can just do a couple of knots that will keep the button in position. The next thing we need to do is to attach the brooch clasp. So open it up, turn your poppy over, and then just with the end of the yarn you need to attach the brooch clasp to the poppy. Again, just simple stitches. It's worthwhile probably going backwards and forwards along the brooch clasp several times. And then I would normally just run the end of the yarn through to secure it. Now, cut off the ends. So now you have a completed poppy that you can wear on Anzac Day. I want to show you a couple of variations. This one is a ribbed poppy, and it's exactly the same pattern as we've done, except rather than knitting it in plain stitches, you do 2 plains and 2 purls, which will give you this ribbed effect. It's quite pretty, and it is more like a cup-shaped poppy. And you can also see that sometimes people knit particular centres if they don't want to use a button, or this is a kind of bobble style wool that they've used. The other thing, and these are examples of the pattern that I've just shown you, is again to use more of this hairy style wool to give you a different effect in the centre. The main thing is they are all beautiful poppies that you can wear with pride on Anzac Day.